Diyos marhay na aldaw sa Indogabos. Ako po si Dr. J. Margate, Professor in Dances and Physical Education sa Central Bicol State University of Agriculture, Pili, Camarines Sur. Ako po mapresentar ka sa kuyang mga dokumento asin naaaraman mapadapit sa Bayleng Bikol. Dakula po ang sa kuyang pasasalamat sa CHED as in NCCA sa pagtauning suporta para marealisar ang haloy kunang pangaturugan nga maidokumento asin maisurat ang mga Bayleng Bikol. Hindi pong sa tuyang mga gayo na bayle, dai pong gayo ing nahihiling sa mga dokumento asin mga entablado. Most of the traditional dances in Bicol region have religious context. Such dances are dedicated to saints and church-related feasts. The Lagaylay in Kanaaman and Calabanga reenacts Empress Elena's dramatic quest for the true cross. The Panhardin in Kanaaman also tells a story of a group of pilgrims searching for the Holy Cross, which they eventually found inside a garden of flowers. The Dotok in Lagunoy and other towns of Camarines Sur, and a similar performance called Santa Elena in Bula and Iriga. Both tell a story of Reina Elena's epic journey in finding the true cross. While the Lagaylay is primarily expressed through singing and dancing, Dotok and Santa Elena include theatrical elements like narration, poetry, dialogue between Christians and non-Christians. The pastora in many parts of the region depicts the shepherd's jubilation on the birth of Jesus. The Tumatarok of Minalabak is the children's hour in the feast of San Felipe Santiago. The performers represent the farmers who venerate Saints Philip and James. It is a manifestation of thanksgiving for a bountiful harvest and other community petitions like asking for guidance that key officials in the local government will be enlightened to do their job with honor and integrity. There are also dances that mimic animals, such as the famous Bicol dance, Sinalampate or Pantomina, a couple's love dance. It mimics the flirtatious movement of doves and or of a rooster to a hen. The male chases the female through a series of steps, sometimes almost running, while the female evades him, flirtatiously attracting and enticing the male from afar. There is also the pandong in Labo, Camarines Norte, a mimicry of the monkey's way of covering themselves with large leaves when it's raining. Another very interesting dance is the banay, a healing ritual that involves several dance figures. It is based on a man's journey which involved various challenges and made him able to heal the sick. Unfortunately, with the onset of modern medicine, it lost its popularity during the last 2 decades and completely vanished as a social event in the recent years. All of these performances have their storylines. The sequence of each performance tells a story. Even the pantomima presents a sequence when a man professes his love to a woman, like the male dove's way of wooing a female dove. In Ramon Felipe Sarmiento's work, the short sequence of pantomima starts with the sigay, ang pag-iilusyon kan lalong, layog, ang paglupad ngani mata naning reparo, ang sarisid, ang paglakaw, bukod o lapag, ang paglamag kang lalong sa guna. Ini po ang mga litrato kansamuyang actual documentation sa mga traditional performances sa tuyang rehiyon. Nakuami po ang samuyang dokumento sa paagi ng mga interviews, focus group discussions, observation, photo, audio, and video documentation. As an art, dance seems to be adapting and evolving into contemporary themes and movements. Some traditional performances have been replaced by consciously constructed festivals that are commercial, popular, and oftentimes political. According to Basilio Esteban Villaruz, most of these new spawned festivals have no authentic basis. They are just a mere contemporary project. Example, Sinulog in Cebu and the Ati-Atihan in Aklan have been swept over by secular, political, and commercial color. Similarly, in Bicol, some festivals observed at present are highly stylized versions of traditional dances like the Pastores in Albay. In this annual festival, the groups are composed of performers from different towns and barangays who compete for a prize. The figures involve whirls, turns, and leaps, which are far from traditional Pastores movements. The pantomima in Masbate evolved from a wedding courtship dance to a social dance not any more exclusive during wedding parties. It is now performed during fiestas, political rallies, and other social gatherings. It has also been commodified as it is used to raise money from the audience to fund local projects. Festivals in several towns of our region have also changed according to the whims of political leaders. For example, the Cimarrones Festival in Pili was changed to Pinili Festival when a new mayor was elected. Then the Cimarrones Festival was brought back when the previous leader was re-elected. Our visits to other towns in the region were a bit frustrating because even local tourism officers are not aware of their own traditional dances. One example is a Lagaylay-like performance in Castilla Sorsogon that had existed in the past was replaced by Unod festival or like festival for the root crops. The traditional dances of our region are transmitted orally, and kinesthetically, and it needs a culture barrier as an agent in the process of transmission. Sustainability of these traditions also depend on the culture bearer's panata or sacred negotiation. Dances in the Bicol region have interdisciplinary values and functions. They cultivate camaraderie and solidarity, articulation, and eloquence. Along with the organization of these dances, community engagement, social cohesion, and collectivity also take place. Ini po ang sakuyang nakuang dokumento habang ang mga tao sa sarong barangay sa Kanaaman nagpe-preparar nin lagaylayan. Iniyo man po ang actual na presentasyon kang lagaylay sa Kanaaman. Ini po magtugang, siya po ang trainer, ini pong lalaki ang musician, ini pong aki kang lalaki, iyo ang musician man po. Pinapadagos ninda ang panata o tradisyon kan sa indang pamilya na kung sain ang sa indang mga magurang dati man ng mga trainers ning lagaylay asin panhardin sa Kanaaman. Experts say that the decline of these traditional dances also means a decline of social cohesiveness and solidarity. They further agree that those performances, which are lavishly financed by the local government, do not need much community relations. The rising trend of our festivals of our region depends primarily on government support. Dance, like any other arts, is bound to change. There may have been creative adaptations and modifications of dance to meet the demands of time, even in the past decades. My late grandfather once shared that danza, where the performers dance to a faster beat through a series of waltzes and sway balances in Lagaylay, was only an addition to the performance. Similarly, the performance of Santa Elena in Bula used to last overnight, but it has been shortened to only 6 hours at present. Safeguarding measures might have involved modifications to maintain the tradition's relevance to the society. However, fidelity to the theme and storyline should be observed as a respect to the older generation's creative endeavors. LGUs must do extensive research regarding their traditional performing arts that flourished in the past. The century-old Tumatarok in Minalabak has been taken over by the popularity of Buswak Festival, a festival that was organized several years back by the local government. LGUs should allot funds for the conduct of cultural activities which should include the traditional ones. Ang tuloy po na problema ka mga culture berries ngunyan, si financial side po talaga. Involvement of the community should also be encouraged. It is imperative to include these dances in the curriculum for sustainability. Literature and dance practitioners can work together to sustain the Bicol traditional performing arts in various ways. But if one day comes that these dances will reach their end, the Literature Society must organize the stories of these traditional dances. They should consciously make an effort to utilize the stories behind the traditional dances as topics for analysis and criticisms. A great opportunity in realizing a contextualized and culture-based learning in Bicol classrooms. Hindi po ang sakuyang mga estudyante, pira sa mga estudyante sa physical education sa CBS-UA habang sinda nag-perform kan sa indang kan panhardin, tumatarok, asin lagaylay para sa indang final presentation. Diyos mabalos, padagos po kita na magtarabangan sa pagpadangnay kan kulturang Bikolnon.